All right, have 6 o'clock. We'll call this meeting of Budget and Finance Committee to order. Appreciate all the other commissioners being here this evening. Uh, I'll start saying Happy Star Wars Day to all. Hey, I'm a Star Wars junkie. What can I say? May the Fourth be with you. Just a reminder, anything that we are voting on this during budget hearings, only the members of the Budget and Finance Committee will be voting on anything. We do welcome input from anyone on the commission. I will give priority to committee members, though. All right. As we will start, everyone should have this page, Statement B. No, yes, it should be in the packet everybody received. And just a reminder to those in the audience and anyone who may be watching at home, all budget documents are available on the county website, trousdalecountytn.gov. Yes. Yeah. Right behind the budget hearing schedule, those first couple pages, it should be like right behind that. You should have like this Schedule A and Schedule B, or okay. Everybody found the correct page. Alrighty. You'll see the estimated penny value for 1 cent of property tax. A little bit of an increase this year at 37,895. I believe it was just over 36 something in the current budget year. This page also breaks down the tax levy in the 101, or from county property tax and the percent going to each department. Mr. Gully, do you have a?
The penny value?
Penny value. I know this is the minute.
36,520.
36,529 for anyone who didn't hear Miss Amy is the current. Now, this tax levy ratio also contains in it a proposed 10-cent property tax increase, and we will get to that. But 56.17% of the property tax revenue has in the 101, 116 solid waste, 6.27%, 118 ambulance service, 10.76%, 131 highway, 1.57%, 141 schools, 23.05%, and 151 general debt service, 2.18%. Mr. Ford. Yes, the sheriff's department is actually divided between county general, and a little bit of his comes out of the urban services, which we will have on a different night. But generally speaking, yes. Now these revenue estimates also contain moving 10 cents from the 151 debt service and moving over into the 101. And again, we'll get to that part of the discussion. Yeah, this page, this statement B, these numbers are predicated on a 10-cent property tax increase and moving 10 cents from the 151 debt service over into the 101. Now, so any changes we make with regards to the penny allocations are going to have repercussions up and down the budget. If the budget as approved as submitted, total amount of tax levy estimated, total estimate 8.833859. However, we are required by state law to budget as though we're going to collect 92% of that amount. So the net estimate collection is 7.669 million. Now, granted, as we all know, most years our property tax collections come in well ahead of that 92%, but by state law, we have to budget as though we're going to collect 92%. We can't go above that. Does anyone have any questions on the statement B page? All right, seeing none, go to the statement A page that was in everyone's packet. This is estimated fund balances for the current and for the upcoming fiscal year. Very top at the left, you'll see estimated beginning fund balances, and this would be when the new fiscal year begins on July 1st of this year. General service fund balance estimate $2,508,395. Estimated revenue $9,320,686. Total appropriations $11,509,396, which brings us the estimated ending fund balance on June 30th, 2027 of $1,043,685. Excuse me. Now, granted, our budgets almost always look worse on paper than they wind up being. We generally overestimate our expenses and underestimate our revenues. I don't recall what the 101 projection was for this year, but I think it was a little over $1 million, maybe 1.1 million. And you see, we're actually going to wind up at about 2.5. Sure, Mike, please.
What will make that difference?
What where the fund balance goes from 2 million to 1? That's just
Or up from the 1 to the 2?
Okay. No, okay. I see what you're saying that the 1.1, or I said I don't recall the exact projection what it was for the current year, That was because I'll say we overestimate our expenses, so expenses are not as much as they were originally budgeted, and and revenues generally come in higher than anticipated. Like I said, the 92% property tax, which we usually wind up getting 90, 98, 99%. So because we didn't spend as much as we expected, and we brought in more than we anticipated. So that end of year number winds up looking better than it originally did on paper this time last year. $116 solid waste, estimated beginning fund balance July 1st, $643,296. Estimated revenue in 116, $869,274. Total expenditures, $1,216,869, for an estimated ending fund balance on June 30th, 2027 of $295,700. $118 ambulance service estimate. Yes, please, Mr. Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, on solid waste, their estimated revenue, is that calculated with the reduction in the commercial dumpster fees that? I believe it's either 67 or $63 for pickup that we dropped it down to.
Yes.
Okay. All right, 118 ambulance service, estimated beginning fund balance, $703,465. Estimated revenue, $1,252,235. Total appropriations, $1,632,734. Estimated ending fund balance, $322,966. 121 special fund core civic. Now, again, this is the money that the state sends us, and we basically serve as a pass through. It shows on our budget as revenue, but we turn around and pay it right to core civic, so we don't really get any benefit from it, even though it shows on our bottom line as revenue. Yep. Yes, it is. Uh, 122 county drug fund, estimated beginning fund balance 174,227. Estimated revenues 16,000. Estimated expenditures 51,250. Ending fund balance 138,977. Again, that drug fund is not something we really have a whole lot of control over. That's just expended as required. 127 American Rescue Plan. That's the first part of the ARPA money that we got. Estimated beginning $100,736. That went ARPA went into 101, or did it go into 171 in the budget?
Both, actually. Part of it's for the 101, part of it's for.
Oh, the three, whatever for the tower.
$75 to 101 for the grant match. 25,000 going to 171. And then there's 380 going to 171. 124 for the walking track is going to.
Okay.
So it's all noted on there.
Okay. Okay, I want to clarify a couple of things on the 127, 128, both of which are ARPA. 127 estimated beginning fund balance, $100,736. 128 estimated beginning 504,469. Both those end at zero. There is 75,000, of course, that the commission has already put as the proposed match for the pickleball tennis court grant. And should we receive that grant, we will learn that in August. So that part is in the 101 budget. The I believe it was 144,000 that has been committed for the repair of the walking trail in Trey Park has also been put in 101, and that's already been allocated as well previously by the commission. The remaining amount of that ARPA funding is going into the 171, which is our capital projects fund. Uh, 131 Highway Public Works. And the only revenue that highway gets from the county is a little over $120,000 that they get in property tax annual, and that's maintenance of effort. We have to continue that. The rest of his funding is state and federal. $141 General Purpose Schools. Estimated beginning fund balance, $4,756,481. Estimated revenue, 15,348,585. Of course, only part of that is from the county. And we will get into that on a later night. Their estimated ending fund balance, $3,001,113. 143 school food service. Estimated beginning fund balance, 56,838. $1,200,448. Estimated revenue, 1,375,743. Total expenditures. Estimated ending fund balance, 6,543. And 151 general debt service. Estimated beginning fund balance, 766,550. Estimated revenue, $405,118. Estimated expenditures, $872,565. Estimated ending fund balance, $432,531. Now these fund balance numbers again reflect the proposed budget, which contains the 10-cent property tax increase and moving 10 cents from debt service to 101. So, I said, any changes we make these numbers will change. Are there any questions in the proposed fund balances? Mr. Ford.
We're gonna get more money from Coroner Civic or not.
I talked to Mr. Beller Monday last week. He said then he had not had a chance to meet with them as of yet. So as of right now, the answer to that's no. Hopefully by the time ideally by the time end of June rolled around, we would have an answer to that. But yeah, right now, we don't have an answer to that. So,
Just a point,
yeah, Ms. Carter.
just a point. We're only asking for 3 million from them. Whoever's negotiating needs to totally understand they get 78 million from the state. We don't need to go down.
Well, we gave Mr. Beller his instructions on negotiating with him. I believe we did that at the March meeting. So that I'm sure when he has something to report back to us, he'll let us know. But yes, I think we all hope he is a firm negotiator. So what are everyone's thoughts on what we have here? Mr. Ford,
You're,
you're asking what the proposed tax rate is. The proposed tax rate is $2.20 per $100 of assessed value. And everyone should have. This should have been one of the news sheets that was on everyone's desk tonight. And this has a breakdown of what a property tax increase would look like on an average home. And there's a 1 cent increase on here and a 10-cent increase on here. Looking at the proposed 10-cent increase, you would see a home appraised at $150,000, the assessed value of $37,500, the annual difference in a 10-cent increase there would be $37.50. A home appraised at $200,000, the annual increase would be $50. $250,000 home, annual difference is $62.50. And a $300,000 home, the annual increase would be $75. And bear in mind that's annual, not monthly. Mr. Thomas.
So looking at that, I'm a little confused because it has the county the same as the city. And the city pays extra tax. So it would,
The city line has both county and city in it, and the urban services isn't increasing, just the county is. So as you see on the county line, it's a 2.2 proposed or 2.2 rate. On the city line, it's 2.87. That's both the 2.2 plus your 6.871 for urban.
so then the increase showing would be the same increase for both.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, this is only a proposed increase in the county rate, and there is no proposed increase in urban services. I think that'll make Mr. Bubba happy over there. Mr. Gully.
Miscellaneous, I know you do a great job in the past trying to balance the books. I have a small concern, I guess. One, the 101, with the penny value increase is gaining $141,490 already. Taking 10 cents away from the 151, which is a place where what we're really doing is robbing from money we had been putting up to pay debt off in the future. What we're actually doing in that one, if you go look at it, is we are reaching into its fund balance and depleting its fund balance is what's happening. All for a very large inflation in the 101, which I'm interested to dig into. I've been through a small portion I've been through all of tonight's and half of tomorrow night's already. I guess what I'm asking, that's a large chunk. When you pull it out of 151, at some point in time, that's going to have to come back to the table because that money's just depleting the kitty that's there. I would be very concerned if this committee ever put forth something willing to deplete one that somebody's going to have to deal with later. I don't blame Miss Amy for trying to balance the books. It was given to her in this case, and that's what she's trying to do is balance the books. I don't think I would hope we never put off on a debt off on our children. It's like writing a check that your children are going to have to deal with later on. That's scary to me. The 101 has increased almost $900,000 in a year's. And I guess what I'm sort of asking, can you give us an idea of what's in here that we're going to come up to see? Are these large purchases, one-time purchases, or are these? I noticed a large increase in insurance, about 27%. I believe if I looked at that across the board on insurance payments, which I love helping our employees out. Is there also some other things we're going to see in here that we need to look for, or hopefully these are one-time purchases?
So I actually did mean to bring a kind of a summary of what we're looking at. I'm sorry I didn't bring that tonight. I will definitely have that for Thursday. So a lot of what we're looking at with 101, we've lost a lot of revenue. We've lost a lot of the federal funding. We've lost some, not really lost. The grants have expired. So the funding's expired, grants have expired. We've had unusual spikes in revenues this year that we more than likely won't see next year. The other issues as far as expenses, we have employee benefits. The minimum TCRS rate, your retirement rate, has increased from 613 to 730. The insurance that is being proposed, the medical insurance, and that's something that this commission can tinker with. Instead of salary increases, we are proposing insurance benefit increases. So instead of the employee-only bottom network, we are proposing to move up from network S to a network P, or the premium network for employee only, and also asking to cover dental and vision employee only. And so that went from, I believe, $8,300 per employee to $9,486 per employee. And then those that are not taking the insurance, possibly a salary supplement that would equal that. We found that is about a 1.5% increase comparison, might even be close to a 2%. So instead of COLA, where we're looking at insurance benefits, that actually puts a little bit more money in the employee's pocket. As far as taking money from debt service, yes, I absolutely hated to look at that. But with the possibility of Enbridge coming in, hopefully we can relook at refunding debt service when that comes in. We just don't officially know if that will happen this fiscal year, and I don't feel good to budget on that possibility this year.
Yeah, and actually looking at each page of the summary, you'll see that insurance increase is actually 9864 is what it goes to with the network P and dental vision.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Ms. Amy, I appreciate the view on that. I do. I'm never one to budget on what might come in my Easter basket. So I don't even want to think that Enbridge exists. I don't want to think that the jail piece exists. We know what we get currently from this jail piece. It might decrease. I hope not. But we don't know those pieces. I certainly caution us again in looking at debt service and losing 10 cents out of debt service just to use what we've built in that debt service. One thing that this budget and finance in the time that I ran that chair strive to do was build money into that one so that one day down the road, that would be about 5 years, 4 years from now, we could go off and pay off a loan that would help the county in the future. I hate to pull that now just to try to cover something. My next piece was I saw that insurance piece and I actually like the increase to our insurance. It's something that we've looked at in the past in the insurance committee when it used to exist, things of that nature. But if I'm not mistaken, we're about 120 employees in the county. It's increased a little bit, 150. It's increased a lot. 154. So there's about, it looked like you were saying that was about an increase of 1,300 per employee. I had to go figure some numbers exactly, but
I'm sorry, I calculated this. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I got $2,226 increase per employee per year from current numbers. Yes. Okay,
can you give me that number one more time?
$2,226.
So the 8,300 that I mentioned, that is using current premium with the estimated about 5% increase because we do not know what January 1st premiums are going to be yet.
Sure.
So that's what that 83 number was.
I have another question.
No,
I'm sorry.
no,
So,
I heard you before I saw him. So go, Ms. Overman.
okay. You need 10 cents from 151 and then you need a proposed 10-cent tax increase. So we need to come up with 20 cents. Is that what we're, okay.
Which would be rough, about 750,000, if I'm ballparking. Now, there is, I know, and of course, we'll get into these, when those pieces come up. There is $150,000 request in the fire department for the, building that they have requested. That could move to 171 if needed to. I believe the sheriff has 3 cars in budget, 2 out of the 101, 1 in urban services. And I believe he is also, and of course, we'll delve into more of these since the sheriff is up tomorrow night, but I believe he's also, his budget also puts back a position that we took out last year. Just one position, is that correct? Am I correct on that? Oh, there's 2, you think? Okay. Okay. Okay, so yeah, there are pieces in there that can be moved around to in theory, make some of this look better on paper than it actually does. Mr. Gully.
just want to make sure I heard one thing before we get digging in here deeper. There is no increase to salary lines, only an increase to insurance payments.
There have been a couple of adjustments. I think the sheriff, he had a couple of positions that their rates went up due to their position changes, but it's just been spot adjustments. The majority, there is no salary increases. So for your elected officials.
Yeah, obviously the elected officials have increases, and of course those are mandated by state law. We can't do anything about that. I believe there is also an IT position. Is that part-time?
Yeah.
A part-time IT position in the 101 that would be created. I think there is we've been told for some time that there's a need in that regard. Mr. Gully,
I'm sorry, I'm asking a lot of questions, but I'm still a little bit
ask
confused.
away.
Last year, it cost us 11.5 cents or so to do on property tax to increase, if I remember correctly, $2 per employee salary. Just figuring the pieces, $2,226 for insurance increase adjustments is roughly $1 an employee increase. How are we? Where am I missing in this budget? There's got to be some large pieces um, there that we need 20 cents into 101 just to make it balance. And I've not dug into it, and I will, but that is a large change somewhere.
Okay, uh, we will have a list on Thursday with the big items. So Thursday is when we will be delving into the 101. For the most part, we have a few items on 101 tonight, but stuff like beer board, county attorneys, things that are minor, that would not have any substantial increases in those. Does anyone have any further questions on the proposed fund balances or the proposed property tax sheet? Seeing none, we will go to 151 debt services. If you will look in the big packet that everyone got, and it should have the tabs in there, 151 is the next to last tab from the bottom. All right, 151. You'll see actual revenue for 24-25, estimated revenue for 25-26, and proposed revenue for 26-27. Proposed revenue, 167,343 on property tax. Again, that is with the 10-cent moving. Discount on property tax, that's the 2% that we give for early payment in October and 1% off pay November. It's $2,175 estimate. Trustee collections, $11,000. Yeah, it should be page 74 of the overall packet, if anyone's not there. Clerk and master collections, proposed $3,000. Interest and penalty, $1,500. Local option taxes, litigation tax, $25,000. Business tax, $10,000. $30,000 investment income. Contributions, $159,450. That is the QSCB principal and subsidy that we receive from the schools. That goes toward that. For total revenues of $405,118. Does anyone have any questions on the proposed revenue in 151?
I
So-
have a question. I just want to say that
Yeah.
I think we need to find 10 cents somewhere else. I'm not okay with taking it out of this fund.
We will definitely have those discussions.
But we're currently in I don't know how you want to run these, but we're here now. Are we wanting to slash and move now? and vote these one at a time. I don't know which way you're wanting to move these things. In the past, we've done these per account, per line.
We can, but no. Putting it back to if we take it back from 101, then we've got to find that in the 101, which is up on scheduled for Thursday. I guess we could. Yes.
I would advise to keep me from doing dances this year. Look at the budget as a whole, come back and visit the tax appropriations after we look at 101, 111, everything.
I don't blame you for not wanting to dig around through it, but in my opinion, we need to know where we're looking at going forward and have plans.
Don't we approve each fund as we go? I mean, that's how we've done it historically the last
We-
few years. So
We have.
So revenues normally is kind of the end statement of the budget. As far as the expenses, that's what's been approved from meeting to meeting, but the revenues you look at the very end.
okay.
But again, it is what y'all want to do. I'm not elected.
Mr. Gully.
Just one statement in the past, from 22 to this 20 fiscal year 27 budget that we're looking at in 2022 to 2023, or 23 to 24, actually, we increased for debt service, we increased property tax 5 cents just for debt service, to cover that at that time. We've worked hard to keep this line, this budget itself in a manageable piece. And that hard work has put money into an account that right now we're just, and I don't blame Ms. Amy for balancing her budget this way, that we're withdrawing just to cover 101. Somewhere that's going to have to come back up in the future. I don't agree with making that move now. We increased 10 cents last year just to cover 11 and some change last year just to cover the pieces. We're talking about tax rate increase, and I agree everything costs more today. I agree, but we're living like we're just going to a piggy bank where we're going to the people. We got to be careful.
Well, we can review 151, not vote on it tonight. And after we review 101 on Thursday, when we've gone through there, if we are able to identify the needed amount in cuts, then we could go ahead and put that back in toward 151 at that time. Y'all tell me how y'all want to proceed.
Since you took the debt service. And one, is that at 1 penny at 337,895, which would be $378,950?
Yes.
All you're doing is raising taxes. All the world you're doing. Robbing Peter to pay Paul. That 220 won't go back down. It'll stay there.
Mhm.
On and on and on.
Well, we are certainly here to discuss options. So, Mr. Gully.
I don't know where this will go, but I'd put it in a motion that we remove, put debt service back to its 1480. I'm sorry, that is 14 cents, 14 and 80 hundredths of a penny, if you really want to know what I'm talking about, 0.1480. I'd put that in the form of a motion.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Gully to put the 10 cents back into 151. Second by Mr. Ford. Discussion. Just to clarify for your motion, are you proposing how we do this, or just that we're going to find this somewhere elsewhere in the budget?
Go find it. That's exactly right. Set you up with what we've got to go looking for.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? Again, this vote will only be by the members of the budget committee. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right. Yeah. If you can give us new numbers on this, please. Amy.
So moving the 10 cents back puts your line item 4110 current property tax to 515,976. Your 4115 discount on property tax to a negative 6,708. Your total county property tax is 524,768, which moves your total revenues to 749,218. Yes.
All right, so that basically if my math is correct, I believe that tells us we need to find $344,100. Okay. Like, yeah, okay. I was looking at the difference between total revenue, what it is now, and what the total revenue projected was on the budget here. And like I said, we will start looking for that when we get into 101 on Thursday, and maybe even tomorrow night during the sheriff's budget. We'll see. All right. Moving to page 75, 151 debt service expenditures. You have page 75, the very next page after the 151 revenues. It was the very next page. Yeah. And the second tab from the bottom. All right, we have principal for the Criminal Justice Center, 85,970. That is currently scheduled to pay off in 2037. Education loans, EESI, $130,035. That again pays off in 2037. JSMS, I'm assuming that's the roof. Okay, 109,000 pays off in 2029. Elementary school roof, 80,530. QCSB, 174,650, and this one pays off in June of 2027. So next year, this one will have rolled off. Interest on debt, 43,307 for the Justice Center. And that is a variable rate. Oh, okay, excuse me. That is a fixed rate. Interest on other school loans, the EESI, fixed rate, 65,505. Middle school roof, 9,557. Elementary school, 29,675. Again, those three are all fixed rates. QSCB 122,316. Of course, that's offset from the money we get from the school. Trustee commission, $20,000. Other debt service, $2,020. Total expenditures of $872,565. Page 3, and that total revenue, and of course, with the motion that was just passed, that 405 becomes 749,218. Total expenditures, 872,565. What does the deficit come to with that? 123,347 is that excess of revenues over expenditures. So the line that says 467,447, that should become 123,347. Okay. And net change in fund balance, what will that?
10,000.
To the negative or positive? 10,081. Okay, net change in fund balance, the 334,019 negative becomes a positive 10,081.
Fund balance 776. 776. 630.
Ending fund balance on June 30th, 2027 of $776,631. Anyone have any questions in the fund balance? Mr. Gully?
Just a statement here, as I'm looking at debts, the TCES roof project, which was acquired in debt in 2023, the county took on 900,000 of that. I think that was a $1.8 million loan, if I remember. Some school took on a portion, the county took on a portion. It is a 4.19. If I'm not mistaken, we're a little under 3% on CDs currently. I don't have that in front of me. I went looking back to see if I could catch it. I think it was about 3.75, 3.73 on this last one that we received. To me, it might be a really smart idea to take some of that fund balance that we're looking at and cut a debt right here off, or cut a large part of that debt off. If you cut roughly 550,000 of it off, you would be looking at 2 years of payment on this debt, which is about when we think all in-bridge and all that might be coming into the table, and you could have one debt off the table. It's only 80,000 a year, but it is 80,000 a year that could be taken off the table.
Which one are you talking about?
TCES roof project.
Gotcha.
That is one debt that could be paid on. I don't see any reason we'd pay on the QCB. It's at fixed rate of 2 something. I believe we saw that, or 1 point something last year. I believe I remember. And the JSMS is at 2.77. Man, that was nice when we got in those rates. This is the only one that is above what our CDs are drawing right now. So we've talked a few times about that need to just pay off. If we needed money somewhere in the future, I think we've been building money in other places. To me, this is one it might look at putting down 500,000. I'll leave that in other people, see if that's where we want to go. I don't mind putting it in a motion, but I want to hear a discussion.
Yeah, everybody should have in the sheet, the sheets that were in your package tonight, a copy of the debt schedule for the coming year.
If I may,
Yes, Ms. Overman.
I have the cash balance from our budget meeting. CDs are at 4.5. Most of them are at 4.5. Some are at 4, and one's at 3.95 and one's at 3.75.
That 3.75. The others aren't.
Mm.
So they're part of the county, that comes back to us.
Right.
Thank you.
The ones. Sorry. If I may,
Yeah, please.
the ones that county controls in that, the newest ones, if we did $1 million, 500,000 and a 500,000, I think the 500,000 was on 6 months was at a little better rate. The million was on the 3.75. So they're getting lower and lower as they are extended out. I try to keep up with those well.
Which is a good thing to do.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Dennis.
make sure I'm following. The loan that we're talking about paying down is the one that is TCES roof project for the 900, 4.19%. It shows as two loans on here, but it's one loan. It's one loan and it's fixed for 10 years at the 4.19. It does have a no call for the first 5 years. That's the no call.
That's where I was holding on discussion. I thought that fit with the I thought the 4.12 was our no call.
Mr. Chairman,
Sorry.
we're getting close to that 5 year mark to where be gangbusters. Whatever we've got sitting there, we can hammer it and potentially be done with it. But it does have a 5 year no call. We can't prepay on it in 5 years, and they can't call it either
Okay.
for 5 years.
Well, thank you for clarifying what the no call was for those who may not have been aware. Mr. Gully.
Mr. Dennis, I believe that's the same for those 4.12s that are fixed when we refunded those. That was all done together in consolidation.
Mr. Chairman, honestly,
Yes.
I haven't thought
Hmm?
about it. That's a question that needs to be answered. Because it says they are fixed. And if that's the case, then, 2.77, I wouldn't do anything with it. We're making more money on our money right now. But see what the terms is on those, if those are truly fixed rates or if they're only fixed for 5 years. There's a move there that I can't get to come to my mind right now. So forgive me for that. But
No, that's fine. I'm sure Miss Amy will check that and let us know. Yeah, and like I said, as stated, if some of this Enbridge comes in as we are hoping, that could be an option as well. One thing I will say with regard to the Enbridge, and this is just my personal opinion, looking back and remembering when the influx from the prison came in, their property tax payments, which 1.1, 1.2 annual, the commission at that time basically divvied it out almost immediately all into recurring expenses, and there was nothing remaining for rainy day in the future. My personal view, I'd prefer us not make that mistake, the kind of mistake with Enbridge when it comes in as much as possible. My preference would be that we look toward non-recurring things so that it is there most years going forward. Mr. Gully.
I 100% concur, and I also concur for this reason. That is going to be a depreciating number. We've been clearly told their value will depreciate. So the amount we get year one will be less the year two and less the year three and yet less the year four. And at some point, it'll somewhat start to level out, but I guarantee you it's going to depreciate fast in the beginning. So be very careful with putting your eggs in a basket that are not going to be the same fullness the next year. Non-recurring funds is huge. Purchases that are needed, things of that nature. Major purchases that may be needed in those cases, but not reoccurring costs, because at some point we'll be looking at need to come up with 20 cents for 101 just to cover a cost.
Agreed.
Can I answer?
Yeah, Amy has an answer on the interest for us.
So looking back on the amortization schedules for all the loans, there is no change in rate after 5 years. The 1.9 for the TCES roof and the field house stays at 4.19%. And the refunding of the two 2016 loans, the CJC and the EESI, stays at 4.12%.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Thomas.
So the question I have on that particular project, we financed with the Department of Education for that loan. If I remember, that's the 1.9. If we pay our part off early, how does that affect their side? Or can you? Does the whole loan have to be paid off and we're splitting it in-house?
I will default to the loan experts on that. Mr. Dennis.
Mr. Chairman, to answer that question, the 1.9 that was taken out, it's one loan. The agreement that the county has that we would pay our 900,000 and the school would pay their million is outside of the actual loan, the loan agreement. The loan agreement is the full amount and we deviate. The county pays its portion, the school pays its portion. There's not a separate portion to be paid. It's all one note. Does that make sense?
It does, and that brings up the question of, so if we pay our part off early, what benefit does that have to our tax line? Because we're still owing the debt.
Mr. Gully.
The benefit is, if it's the JSMS roof project we're talking about, that's an $80,000 per year that the county is costing. It would make up, what's that, 2.5, 2 3/4 pennies, something like that, back to the pieces. That's all I was looking for. I was looking for a couple pennies next year, starting now to get to that 10 is where I was going for. That 80,000 is 2.5, 2 3/4 pennies. I'm starting at those pieces, moving in that direction is what I was looking for. It benefits us. The loan will still be out there, but it's not on out. It's looked at as the county because the school can't take out a debt. The county takes out a debt, but the school department has agreed to pay that million portion. So the 80,000 goes back into our general service movement. That's what I was looking for. That's a great question, though.
So basically, you're talking about it would knock out our portion of that debt. The school's portion would remain. Right. Yep. Whatever the schools is would still be in place. But that would be their problem. Okay. All right. Are there any other questions with regard to debt service? Yeah, if there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve debt service.
Motion to approve with the amendments we've made.
Okay, have a motion by Ms. Overman, second by Mr. Gully. Again, this will be members of the Budget Committee voting. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? 151 is done. All right, next we will move to 121, the Core Civic Special Fund. This is
Page 41.
yes, I'm in the process of finding it. Yes, yeah, page 41 of your packet, Mr. Gully.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Mr. Gully, second by Ms. Overman. Again, this is only pass-through money. This is not that we are expending it in any way, except that we're passing it to Core Civic. All in favor say aye. Opposed? 121 is approved. Next, miscellaneous items in the 101. Page 16 per Mr. Gully. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Oh, page 6. Let's try that again. I was about to ask that question too. All right, 51,220, which is the beer board. No change from the 25 to the 26 budget. Total of $1,792. If the beer board meets, they get $30 a meeting. Mr. Gully.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve beer board by Mr. Gully, second by Bubba Gregory.
Can I just make a comment?
Yes, please.
They spent way less than $1,700. I know it's $1,700 in a large budget, but they spent way less than that. So I would propose moving it, lowering it. I know it's tiny, but it's tiny.
We met. I serve on the beer board. I think we met one time last year. Yeah, but we have a meeting on Monday next week, so we are. All right. Yeah, we have a motion in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, have one no from Ms. Overman. Hey, there have been years I've kind of been the same thing, nitpicking, so I can't fuss. All right, page 7, county attorney. Total amount is 10,000 less than it was last year. 40,000 to Mr. Beller for his services, 2,000 for land sales. Mr. Gully.
Second.
Motion to approve by Gully, second by Overman. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, county attorney is approved. Okay, next is county archives, page 10. That's actually listed on there as preservation of records. Total amount 7,650. That is zero change from current fiscal year. Mr. Gully. Motion to approve by Mr. Gully, second by Bubba. Solon first, sorry. All in favor, say aye. All right. Okay, page 23 will be the next one. County coroner. Total amount 13,200. This is a $10,000 decrease from the current fiscal year. Of course, they're only projected to spend 7225 of what was in the current year. It's like the 5,000 decrease came in autopsy fees. Budgeted amount this year was 15,000. It's gone to 5,000 for the upcoming year.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Overman, second by Mr. Ford. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, next one, community development, 58,190, page 30. I found it right about the time you said it. This will be economic and community development, last category on that page. It is budgeted amount of $875,500. The biggest items in there, the home grant that the county received. I believe we are doing 3 or 4 homes, 4 homes with that. That is 810,000. Again, that was grant received by the county, and 65,000 broadband ready community. Again, that it. Can you want to explain what that?
So the BRC grant, the Broadband Ready Communities Grant, that is what the Tech Goes Home program is over at the library. Edgar Malone is doing classes for those that would like to learn how to use the computer, basically. We also were able to update public Wi-Fi, put in a couple of additional public spots. And the library also had some improvements done as far as equipment. I think they're getting some furniture. And I believe the umbrellas out on the patio also came out of this grant. It is non-matching.
Mr. Gully.
We decreased that. I don't know what was 27,000, decreased to 35,000, roughly a penny. Is there not some additional? Is there a concern that this is going to increase at 27? It was at 16, then went to 27. It looks like this is a spot we could take some additional money out of. Am I wrong? Broadband, it went from 100 last year to 65 this year.
So the grant itself was $100,000. So if you add the 16,000, the 27, and the 65, you're going to get pretty close to $100,000.
So you're telling me that's just a grant money?
It's a great.
Misunderstood.
Yep.
Motion approved by Ms. Overman. Is there a second? Okay, second by Mr. Gully. All in favor say aye. Thank you. All right, other charges, 58,400. This is on page 31. This is $574,000, $59,100 increase from the current fiscal year. It's like the biggest line items, increases there. Increase in copier leases, copy machines. The fuel is that same. Increase in liability insurance. Increase in the trustees commission. I think those are the biggest increases, unless I'm missing anything. Any questions from the committee on 58,400? Mr. Gully.
A small piece, is GNRC now coming out of another location? That's why this has increased so large? Dues and memberships, or did we, GNRC's at 7,000, that entire piece was 800 last year.
It moved from 58,900. I moved it up to other charges. The fees were just a little off this year, and I had to make a budget amendment. Like, well, if I just move it over to other charges, it kind of covers it. It's a little tiny.
I had wrote that in my notes on the front when I looked at it now. Say that. Yep. Already wrote it in front notes.
Mr. Thomas.
Looking at the Fuel Master equipment, it going up from its actual a 15 staying at from 2,000 dropping down to 15. Is that 15 going to be enough to replace that equipment?
Which line item are you in, sir?
So maintenance, repair, service equipment.
Okay, gotcha.
336.
And thank you for bringing that up. That was a note that I had on me. We have had a lot of issues with our fuel pump over at the highway department this year. I believe we've actually spent close to, oh gosh, what was that? About $12,000 on repairing it, having the service calls come out. I have mentioned it to the Buildings Committee, which Commissioner Thomas is chair of, that is something that we really need to look at near future, 1 to 2 years of possibly replacing that equipment or finding another source of fuel for the county.
Billy.
Ms. Amy, you mentioned another source. I know a lot of surrounding counties will use gas stations that they have in the community. They're there and they've just made a deal, cut a deal with those for a certain price. Have we looked into that ever in the future?
That is something I've suggested myself.
I guess I'm asking this question, but I don't know who needs to look into that because that's an entire county piece.
Ms. Thomas?
So buildings is taking that up, Public Works. We just were made notified that this has become I've known it to be an ongoing part by part that's been repaired, hoping that that fixed the problem and it was a dead issue. But it seems to be over the last year, they're having to come back and fix the same things over and over it's a decaying system. So it looks like we might have to replace it. So we're just now going to be taking that up, trying to figure out what that result is. Unfortunately, it's happened right at budget time. So we haven't had a time as a committee to actually address and give answers to this body.
Ms. Gully?
And I guess I'm assuming here that we're just talking about a pump system, right? Not an electrical issue, because I know that that building out there has a generator on it, so I'm sure the pumps are on the same generator, same breaker system. I hope, because we've talked about that with our own generator being diesel, and being able to get fuel from this location. It might be, I'm not saying and suggesting we go to a different place. It might be quite cheaper just to purchase new equipment out here for one spot. I believe the school uses it, the sheriff's department uses it, any county public works trucks use it as well. So there's a lot of use of that for the county. So it may be more beneficial to keep it in-house.
Ms. Thomas?
And yes, we are looking at that, but there's also that software hardware situation where you have to put your key code in and be able to identify who's pumping fuel. That system has had issues too, and it's been repaired. So we're going to have to look at it as an overall project. And honestly, right now, I'm just scared of what that number is going to be. There are some suggestions that there might be some leaking happening, and that scares me to death. So we're going to look more into that to try to find some more numbers and to get some. I just don't see that those answers being provided before this is voted on. So at this point, we're just going to keep making do and try to get numbers and go from there.
So whenever it does come up, we'll be looking at a budget amendment in the upcoming year, if that's the option that's chosen to go with.
And that being stated, sir, if as we're pinching pennies to try to keep from taking this money out of debt services, that expense needs to stay in the forefront of everyone's mind that not every current expense that's going to happen in this budget year is on this paper. So as we're pinching pennies to barely get that by, now when something happens, now we don't have any money.
Well, I guess that could be considered a capital project when the time came. We do have a capital project fund if worse come to worse. It's over.
The increase in the liability insurance and the workers' compensation insurance is just premium increases.
Mr. Gully. Motion to approve by Mr. Ford, by Mr. Gully, second by Mr. Ford. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? 58,600, same page, employee benefits, unemployment compensation, $12,500 decrease, went from 15,000 in the current year to only 2,500. Anyone have any questions on that item?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Mr. Gully. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Ford. All in favor, say aye. All right, and I believe our last item for the evening, 58,900. Nonprofit contributions. Let me.
This would include the handouts.
Okay, okay, this, it's, okay, so it's not a page in this.
It is. It's 58,900 should be.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, same page, page 31 of the packet, 58,900. The sheets everyone got tonight should contain a proposed resolution with breaking down the.
Mr. Gregory.
I don't think I got that one. Yes, sir, Ms. Scully.
Miss Amy, I see about a $6,500 increase in contributions. Is there one item or is that distributed? Went from 43,500 to 50,000.
Honestly, I just rounded up to 50,000. The contributions that we've got listed actually equals 41,500.
I saw that. I'm just.
Yeah, I think the only one that changed from the current year, Community Help Center did not make a request this year, so I think we gave them $2,000 last year. I serve on that board, and like I said, we decided not to make a request of the county this year. Ms. Gully.
Our church received a letter last week for a
We're
contribution request.
we're doing just a capital fundraising request, but we decided not to ask the county for a contribution.
I was expecting most churches in the community got one. Okay.
Mr. Ford. No, which one do you want to cut back?
We didn't need it all. If we don't need all, that's
I mean, are you wanting to go back to the 41.5 total? I guess. Well, 43.5 is what we had in the current year. The ones we have for the current year add up to 41.5 because the 2,000 to the help center has been removed. Is that a motion? All right, I have a motion to reduce that 50,000 to 41,500. Is there a second? Is there a second?
I'm sorry. When I add up what you have on the side, it's $50,000.
Well, there's miscellaneous 3,500.
Oh. I see. I will second his motion.
Okay, I have a second to Mr. Gully's motion. Oh, Mr. Ford's motion. Yep. Sorry, I've seen you making so many motions that just came out of habit. My apologies. All right, I have a motion and a second to reduce this from 50,000 to 41.5. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? All right, I'll do a roll call because I really couldn't tell. Yeah, I couldn't tell. So, Mr. Gully,
I'm no.
Mr. Ford, Mr. Gregory, Ms. Overman. No. I have 4-2. Motion passes. Yes. 5-2.
I just want to be clear. I'm not against the number. It doesn't benefit us. This is a revenue that would have gone back. It would have been spent anyways. The only reason I was at a no on that one, just being clear. It wasn't money that was ever going to, both ways that money was going to end up back in the tip.
Well, and that's 8,500 of the 300 something that we're looking for. It's a start. All right, I believe that brings us to the end of everything we had scheduled for this evening. Are there any other items anyone else wishes to address? Any public comment? All right, before we take that, just a reminder, tomorrow evening, just a reminder, tomorrow evening, we will have the sheriff's department in here. His part of the 101, his part of 111 and county drug fund. I have a motion to adjourn from Ms. Overman, a second by Mr. Gully. All in favor, say aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.